Welcome back to another 31 Days of Horror. I think we're on movie 3. I've already lost count. Either way, today we are talking about The Red Right Hand. The creepiest movie since Rosemary's Baby, according to Chris Kennedy of WBDS Boston.
He must know somebody or something.
He was looking for some freebies. That's all I can say. Yeah. So, the film is essentially about 5 friends who are returning home for their high school reunion. And right off the bat, you can tell that they have something in their past that they're kind of trying to hide and they're uncomfortable about. And 2 of the 5 bring along partners. One is a wife and the other one's just a boyfriend. But right off the bat, these 2 are just like, there's something going on here, right? And essentially most of the movie is kind of figuring out what it was, and they don't take too long to actually tell you. So, like, I mean, us as a viewer kind of knew really early on what was going on, but it's more about the situation that played out and the reason why things are blah blah blah, and everybody's little story or view of what happened. I guess they're how would you say it? Their description of the events that took place, I guess. The film is directed by a Mike Gioscia, Gioscia.
If I start saying letters, it's not going to spell anything nice. So.
And oddly enough, I didn't realize it because on here it just has the one director, but apparently it was also directed by another guy. So it had 2 directors. The other guy was a Kurt St. Thomas. And neither of these guys have ever done anything, really. They both did, I think, a movie beforehand and maybe a short, and nothing ever since, really. So, yeah. You tried, you failed, and your career didn't go anywhere because of it. The film is from 2001. It's under an hour and a half, which is good. If you can't tell, neither of us is really impressed. The film, like I said, has a group of people, and you know what? None of them have really done anything. You've got Alan, played by Michael Kevin Walker, Megan Rawa, Roger, played by John Kuntz, Martha, played by Kim Brockingham, Jake, played by John Doe.
What, he doesn't even want his real name listed?
And which is funny because he's the boyfriend, and he was one of the guys I actually thought his acting made sense, because he's one of these guys who's just like, seriously, like what the hell's going on? And he played it so much, like, honestly, if I was in that situation, I would have acted exactly like him, just being like, this makes no sense. Why are you guys hiding all this like stuff? Tell me what the hell's going on. Clearly there's something going on, because you guys keep buggering off and talking to yourselves, even though you've brought me and this other lady here and you've just left and left us alone to like talk to each other. And by the way, the lady is the wife, who's Sarah, played by Abigail Morgan. I think son of John Good, played by Mark Ardito. She's apparently like some crazed sex addict because she wants to sleep with everybody. And I think that's just put in there because they needed some skin or something to sell this, because outside of that, there ain't much happening in this movie. Not much at all.
Including that there's nothing happening.
Including, yeah, that there's nothing happening. It really is a lot of dialogue. A lot of dialogue. It is a lot of people just standing and talking. And what really makes it not very good is the fact that they keep saying the same stuff over and over and over again. You know, like, oh my God, I think somebody's figured it out. Oh, shut up. We're not going to talk about this anymore. We left the past behind. We're leaving the past behind. Like this, like these lines are repeated over and over and over by one character or another through most of the film. And it just gets so tiresome where this group is telling their stories. You know, they'll get one-on-one with somebody and sort of reveal what they thought about that night or some aspect, or somebody will ask them some questions and they'll reveal a little bit more. And over the course of the film, they, you know, try and, you know, piece it together like a murder mystery movie, right? But at the same time, we already know something's happened. It's not that we are trying to find out what happened. We find out early on that something bad happened. We just don't know exactly what the circumstances of that are until the very, very, very end, where everybody's little stories kind of come together, right, to form this final reveal, which isn't much of a reveal. And then you have the ending of the film, which is supposed to be the great bring everything together and then have something kind of, you know, M. Night Shyamalan, give it a little twist, and throw that on at the end, right? And sure, it's there, but it's a little too late because you've already gone through almost an hour and a half of people just talking about the same thing over and over and over again. And, I mean, you can tell it's a low-budget film, which isn't necessarily a bad thing, because I think they actually managed to find some actors who weren't terrible, but at the same time, there is some overacting going on. There is some stunted dialogue, whether it be the case of the actors, the writers, or the director. And like I said, there's a lot of just nothing. There's a lot of just nothing happening. And because it is low budget, the sets aren't fantastic. They use whatever's available around. The sound is not good. A lot of stuff is done in post. The voices clearly sound like they are not from the people who are actually in the room. And so production wise, this film really it hurts. Lighting is basic. And really it really comes down to the story. It really depends so much on the story, but the story isn't new. I mean, how many movies out there that have a similar story? There's tons of them. Whether it be a made-for-TV movie, or even just an episode of something.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, picture any of your murder mystery television shows, your crime dramas, any of those type of things. I'm sure they've done at least one, if not multiple versions of some kind of story like this, where, you know, people come home for their high school reunion or elementary school reunion or whatever, some kind of reunion, you know, and there was something bad that happened in their past, and, you know, you kind of figure it out. And I mean, this is 2001. If this had been maybe 1960 or something like that, maybe, you know, you would be okay. This is pre most of that. I mean, I'm sure there would have been something before it, but this is 2000s. I mean, like, how many shows in the 80s probably would have done it? Right. But, yeah. You didn't like it.
No.
found it boring. If you can figure that out from what I've been saying. Yeah. It's
a waste of time. These people shouldn't be acting. This movie never should have been made. And they shouldn't say it's creepy and compare Rosemary's Baby. What is wrong with that person? I can't.
I seriously, like, this is just somebody who's looking to get their quote on like the packaging or something like that, because either this may be the only, maybe he's only seen Rosemary's Baby and then he watched this movie just so he could say that, because it probably was the creepiest movie since he watched Rosemary's Baby.
But it's not even creepy.
Well, if he had to watch Toy Story after Rosemary's Baby, he could have said Toy Story was the creepiest movie since Rosemary's Baby, and he wouldn't be lying. But yeah, this is an Asylum release. I don't believe this is produced by the Asylum, but I think they picked it up for distribution. So I don't know. I mean, you know, with the Asylum, you're getting some kind of cheesy stuff quite often, but this is also a Fishbones production. I think I've watched other Fishbone productions. I don't think I like them either. I could be wrong, but
Yet you still keep buying this crap.
You never know.
You can't give them hope anymore. Just stop it.
Just when you think you're safe, evil lends a hand. The red right hand.
Oh my god. We could film our yard and stick a dollar store hand in it and then move it, and that'd be fucking, oops. That would be creepier than this.
You can tell she's been holding back on saying something, right? Yeah. Yeah. She had a few choice words after we watched this. Some of them she kind of just repeated, but
I find it hard to hold back. I have a foul mouth.
Like I say, you never know if a movie's any good until you watch it.
Not true! This is so not true. Not true. No. You can tell.
You gotta give some. Sometimes you find things and it's like, wow, I never expected that to be so good.
No, because what happens is, it's like, if this is like the least bad one, okay. And then, oh my god, I didn't think it could be that much worse than I thought. We need to have a giant garbage can.
Yeah.
I want to start throwing them in the garbage.
That's fun. It's odd. Like, whenever we say something's really, really bad, we always say it's like Sight. You know, like, Sight is that one film we reviewed that neither of us were just like, oh my god, what did we just watch? Like, that was so bad. But at least Sight had some creepy visuals that showed up in it.
Oh yeah.
This had nothing.
No.
This really had nothing. This could probably be summed up at most into like a 30-minute short film, or a 30-minute, or even an hour-long television episode, which is roughly about, 40 minutes? That's probably all they needed to tell this story. And it would have been a fine television episode. Nothing would have been crazy. Of course, being on television, I'm sure it probably would have looked and sounded better than this film.
The commercials would have been better. Like, you would have been going to the kitchen while this was on, and you would sit down for the commercials.
Yeah, it's like the movie's back, time to take a pee break. Oh, look, a Huggies commercial. I'll be right back.
I can't miss this.
Can't miss it. This is better. Oh, yeah, so...
Like, yeah, I think I would put this, like, a little lower than Sight, because it was painful.
Yeah, so, like, and they, honestly, this whole write-up that they've put on the back of this DVD case is the movie. When 5 friends return home from a high school reunion, it's clear they are hiding a dark secret. You figure that out right off the bat. That's given. While becoming reacquainted, horrifying images of the past haunt them. That's most of the film. That is essentially from, shortly after the beginning of getting everybody introduced and they're all talking. That one little sentence, while becoming reacquainted, horrifying images of the past haunt them. That's like the bulk of the movie, where they're just talking and talking to each other, 2-on-2, 3-on-3s, like whatever, group here, group, A, group B, somebody goes off on it's just everybody splitting up and everybody coming together and talking. It's not like anything really happens except for the sex scenes. And then we got, slowly the strong ties that bind the group begin to unravel, and the terrifying story of rage, revenge, and a friend buried alive is told. That's what you're trying to find out in the movie. They just told you on the back of the box what you're trying to find out in the movie. What?
No point to watch it.
No point. Then finally the dark forces compelling them to relive the past will lead them back to the shallow grave and to one more grisly event. The twist at the end. So you've essentially told everything that's going to happen in the movie without actually seeing the film. So why? Why? It's pointless. It would be you read the back, you're like, all right, I told you right now. You know what the movie is. Mm-hmm. You don't need to hear the actual dialogue between the people talking to know what the movie is. That was the story. That's the entire story. The rest of it isn't entertaining. Because the story is the only thing this movie has going for it. And that was it. You've just read the story on the back of this DVD case. So, yeah, there you go. You've been saved once again from me and Leslie and our 31 Days of Horror. You no longer ever have to worry about watching The Red Right Hand. If you see it, throw it away. Not worth it.
And please, no arguments down below about how we're wrong, because you're psycho.
No, honestly, I want to hear you justify this movie. Justify it down below. If you like the movie, tell me why. I want to know.
And what were you on at the time?
Yes. If you happen to have been drunk or stoned or in a mood, I need to know that as well, because that definitely would influence you. Like, clearly. Because, I mean, if you could be in something, and it doesn't matter what you put on television, you'd think it's the best thing on television. And then upon second viewing, you may not think so.
They should do that. They should package it like that, Just add a little bonus.
Here's the Red Right Hand, complete with bonus pot brownies.
Ooh, brownies. I never had that. I just regular brownies.
Yeah, so yeah. We're not recommending. And thumbs are down.
I can't put it down enough.
There's not even a hand involved. The red right hand has been chopped right off. It's just, there you go.
Why make the effort? I don't want to make the effort.
There you go. Yeah. Just a waste. Just a waste. And you've heard it here. I'm sure somebody else has said it's a waste. In fact, I'm going to pull up a review right now.
Oh my god. You're going to make this video for 10 hours for this movie that
it's all a bit like the adult version of I Know What You Did Last Summer.
Don't even compare that.
Yes, it does say it is unusually sophisticated relative to other horror cheapies from the Asylum, which technically is true. But the Asylum movies aren't really, they're not selling that. They usually sell like Cyclops, Killer Cyclops, or Aliens or something like that. It's whatever. But yeah, that's it. This review really couldn't come up with anything. Oh well. Yeah. With an uneven and sometimes chaotic script that never makes clear sense. Yeah, I get that. I can see why you would say that. It definitely is a thing, and I think that's because, honestly, they could have cut most of it out.
The whole movie.
And you could have managed to get that same movie across. But anyways, I'm going on and on and on. We've already given it a rating. We've already told you what we thought. We've already not recommended it and told you what the film was about and who was in it. So there's not much more to say. So thanks for watching. Stay tuned. More 31 Days of Horror coming up soon. Take care. Have a good one.